SuckaFree Sundays. What more can I say? What can I say? It's SuckaFree Sundays, and it's that boy Dominican Ray. We ain't stopping. And one thing I want to say to everybody is, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what people say, no matter what you go through, no matter what you're going through, just know that if you give up, you a sucker. You know what I'm saying? You can't give up. You got to understand that there's been people before you, or people right now in front of you or around you, that are going through the same thing that you're going through, or even more worse. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, I wanna go to, it's Sunday, and I didn't go to church today, but I did go to church, if that makes sense. And I did hear some sermons, I did hear some some of the words from the Bible, some of the stories, some of the passages and all that good stuff. And I have my own passage, my own book really, that I want to relate to right now. And I want everybody to understand that I'm taking y'all to church, right now. And the story of Job, the book of Job in the Bible, if y'all don't know. And by the way, these stories are just stories, so you got to understand that this is just for reference, for guidance, and just to understand that people like us lived before us and paved the way for us, and definitely these stories are guides, or whatever. They're stories for you to relate to, or to understand and to learn from, or take it however it is that you need to take it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that goes. But the story of Job basically is a story of a wealthy man who God has blessed abundantly in the town of Uzi. And this man, basically, Job had it all in God's name. And Satan tested, Satan basically tested Job through God, telling God that if God were to take something from him, that he will turn his back on God and curse God. And in life, you got to take this either literally, you got to take this like metaphorically, or just take it as as for what it is, or maybe like put it into perspective, just whatever the case may be. Excuse me. SuckaFree Sundays. Blessings. At any rate, yeah, you basically take it for what it is. And me, I can relate to this because I have been blessed with riches, what I'm saying, since birth. I have been blessed with a lot of things, what I'm saying, and then I have been taken to that point where I have lost a lot of things, and where I have been put in a situation where it's easy to give up, easy to kill myself, easy to give up my my faith and my hope and whatever it is that I stand for. Give up on my people, give up on myself. And I could easily have gave up on God, but at any rate, I have related to Job many times. And basically saying did tell God this, and God basically took away his riches. He was poor, therefore he didn't have much, right? He didn't have much to take care of his family. He had to go back to, I guess, to a point of they're scavengers, begging. He was weeping. And so basically, he still didn't lose faith, even though he was weeping and he was crying and he was hurt. He didn't turn his back on God. He didn't curse God. He did just basically cry to God and pray to God and whatnot. But then Satan said, no, but see, you didn't take away really nothing, because he still has his family. You see, you got to understand that sometimes, we get put in a situation where you can lose your family. People have lost their family. People don't have their kids with them, or whatever the case may be. And so, there, you can relate to sometimes on a certain level. But you see, God took away his family, and he remained, he was alone. Everything he had, he basically lost, and he wept again, and he cried and whatnot. But at the end of the day, he did not give up on God. He didn't turn his back on God. He didn't curse God. He came real close to. But see, the village, kept this man sane and his faith alive. And what God blessed him with before, God blessed him again with. So, the moral of the story is that, yeah, man, we go day by day, and we might be put in a position where we are farmers, that we are basically put in a position where we're tested, you know what I'm saying? And we might lose something. We might lose a job. We might lose a friend. We might lose a family member, a parent, a sibling, a child. We might lose ourselves, in a sense, obviously, or we might be going through something that, basically is like faced with death or with illness. Whatever the case may be, we might lose, something that's valuable. And at the end of the day, will you lose your faith? Stay sucker free. You know what I'm saying? Sucker free Sundays is Dominican Ray. I choose to remain sucker free, so I will be tested, and I know about Murphy's Law. I know about the secret, but I do know about God. And, God is higher powers for me, and I am in this earth, which is given a long time ago, turned over to a certain power. And right now, the only thing that we have that's connected to God is our hearts. Watch out with our minds, because our minds are being tested, and right now there's that big, powerful, spirit that's in control. But listen to the music, and you'll probably find some of the answers there. I know you guys want a lot more answers, but I'm running out of time. Sucker Free Sundays, I got a lot to do. I got to go to a 99-cent store and buy some 99-cent stuff because I'm on a budget. And I'm humble enough and sucker free enough to tell you that I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Stay sucker free.